Hey guys, Christo Garcia, My Swing Evolution. I am fired up because today I am going to talk to you about how to get compression with your golf clubs. Now, the most important thing is you have to start with like your higher lofted clubs, like your wedges. If you can't compress a wedge, you're not going to be able to compress a 5-iron. Okay, so the key to it is having forward shaft lean. Now, Lee Trevino said something that's so darn important. He said, you have to learn to hit down on the ball, okay? The only way you can hit down on the ball is if your hands are in front of it. That's the only way the club head can be going down to compress it, okay? So I'm going to talk to you about how I work this into my swing every time I go out to practice. And I hit the ball today, I think, better than ever, okay? What was Ben Hogan's famous quote? It goes up the shaft through your hands and into your heart. That's what I was feeling out there. Boom, 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 just hitting it over and over again. Now I'm reminded of Ben Hogan's quote where he said the feeling goes up the shaft through your hands and into your heart. And that's what it felt like all day today. And it just feels so good. And I was working on something I've shown on MSE TV called the pump handle move, okay? This over-the-top move is all about working it over my shoulder. And it gives me the feeling like I'm pulling on a pump handle. And it just gives me a ton of leverage down into the ball. Now, I want to tell you guys, I'm working on this new huge series. It's the over-the-top miracle swing and miracle method. I've been teaching this all year. I've refined it. My students are doing amazingly well. And this is all going to be a part of the new MSE TV. And I want you guys to have this. I'm going to start putting segments up early. I was planning on launching this for Black Friday, the holiday season around Thanksgiving. But if you guys are members of MSE TV, you will get all of this new material, okay? It's going to be an add-on. I'm going to sell it later as a whole thing. But if you guys are in MSE TV by Black Friday, you're going to get access to all of this pump handle stuff, all this awesome compression stuff. And I'm still going to talk you through everything that I'm doing with my wedges today. So that's great. Guys, the next MSE Intensive is November 5th and 6th. OTT! I moved it back for one of my subscribers who couldn't make it. And I'm like, what is it, Halloween weekend? So I'm like, I'll just push it back to November. First weekend in November. It's going to be amazing, guys. Come on out. These intensives are changing people's lives. It's amazing.
And then just trying to hit the ball with my right shoulder. And I feel like I hit probably like 5 or 6 in a row. Same shot. I've heard, people say, oh, don't swing OTT, but I think there's a misconception of what you're teaching and what people think that you're trying to teach. Boom! I'm excited. I really feel like I'm gonna be able to drop my scores down.
Now let's get into today's video, and I'm gonna talk to you about these wedges that I'm working on. Hey guys, I'm out here at the range. It's Monday morning. I'm ready to restart my practice like a pro routine. And I've had a busy month. I went to Mexico, I got engaged, but now it's time to get back down to business. So I'm working on my wedges. Okay, I always start my warm-ups and my practice with the majority of my shots being wedges because those are the most important scoring shots that I'm gonna make out on the golf course, okay? So with these shorter shots, I keep my weight probably 60-40 on my lead leg. And I want to feel the weight of the club head going down through the ball. I'm going to rotate around that front leg. It's like my left hip is the pivot point. It's like the hinge on the door. I want to slam the door shut and just hit down on the back of the ball. Now, Lee Trevino said that you have to learn to hit down on the ball. There's only one way you can hit down on it. That's if you have forward shaft lean. So you have to continue rotating through the hit in order to maintain that shaft lean so you can compress the ball. All right, here I am just tossing some 60-yard wedge shots out there. I've got a pin that's 66 yards away, and it's about a 3/4 swing for me to hit that pin. And so I'm just tossing these balls out there and, trying to work on my wedge distance. This is just a normal, natural thing to use your wedges because you have to loosen up. So these little swings give you an opportunity to warm up your body while working on the most important shots after driver. And I've really come to believe that at this point, that it's not about 5 irons and 4 irons. I don't even hit them very often, when I'm working on my swing. I'm working on 7 iron and down, and then driver. That's my big focus right now. So these shots right here, I am tossing them. That you can see that little striped flag out there in the distance. I am dropping these balls on top of that thing. I thought I was going to have the mound in the camera shot, and I was going to do a close-up because I was just throwing up little dust clouds right next to that darn thing, and just hitting the ball so smooth. It just felt, it was glorious today. It was just glorious today. It feels so good. So here I've got my 54-degree wedge and just setting up a little spot to hit from here, and I'm going to brush the ground here. And by keeping my head steady and my center of gravity on that front leg, I just brush the grass in the same spot. It's just key that I stay on my left leg. I feel like I'm pivoting around that left leg. I take it up, pull down over my shoulder, and rotate around that front leg. Like I said, my left hip is like the hinges on a door. And it just feels so good. Now, you'll notice where I'm hitting these balls from. After I pick out, a nice little patch of grass, I actually start dropping balls and hitting them out of these spots because the grass was actually a little long, and I want to hit clean shots. So it's a little tighter lie, and I can judge my impact a little bit better. So now I'm going to be making some full swings with this 54-degree. And for me, my full swing is a 100-yard shot. I can stretch it out to like 105, but I want to be able to basically drop this ball without a ton of backspin at about 100 yards. And that's what this swing gives me right here. And again, I just feel like I'm flushing this ball. One thing I'm doing that you may find interesting is I'm working on keeping the club head outside of my hands. I still want my hands to go inside and up, but I'm keeping the club head more outside of my hands on the backswing, a la Ben Hogan. Like, he wasn't the type to suck the club head in. He kept the club outside the hands, which is kind of a dominant teaching style today. So I'm just doing that and then feeling the pull down over my shoulder that I've arrived at from my over-the-top swing. So guys, the next intensive, November 5th and 6th. Be there or be square. I hope you hit them long and hit them straight.
Are you ready to experience your very own miracle? Christo Garcia, the man who swung as Ben Hogan in the Golf Channel special Hogan, has created the most controversial and effective golf training program in history.
Good to see you. How are you? The old PGA pros, they had this much simpler kind of wisdom. The goal I have for you guys today is to give you a natural swing that's fundamentally sound, that doesn't require any type of manufactured motion. That's what I'm talking about, my friend.
What made the most sense was learning how to put leverage on the shaft. You can really feel the flex in that shaft, especially when you expose it to the ball.
It's a miracle.
That's the old TT. Thank you.
Do you have a burning desire to get better at golf?
like that.
Are you frustrated by overcomplicated modern golf instruction? Well, your prayers have been answered. Since my eyes have been opened, I've helped thousands of golfers around the world save their swings and soothe their soul. OTT! This is the Over-the-Top Miracle Swing.
Now's your chance to learn the over-the-top miracle swing, only at myswingevolution.com.